Yeah, thank you for clicking on this video. Shout out to all my new subscribers and followers, and to anyone that's been following me for quite a while. I appreciate you also. Yeah, so I just recently had a conversation with Maximum Impact with Jay Cameron. Shout out to that brother. I am really, really proud of him because, listen, in these US of A, United States of America, we'll all pretty much have our path of life set out for us, right? So, when we're children, our parents tell us to, go to school, get good grades, and, go to college if you can afford it, and then go get a job and then work for the next 40 years of your life. And try to get a good 401k and just, retire. But this brother here, I'm really, really proud of him because he's bucking the trend and doing something completely different. He's traveling all over Africa because he felt that he needed to connect with his identity of being African. So yeah, we had a conversation about that, and yeah, make sure you comment below if you have any questions while you're watching it. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, King and thank you for having me today. And for those who are watching, my name is Jay Cameron, and you can find me at Maximum Impact with Jay Cameron on YouTube. I am now a world traveler. I'm a children's book author of the children's book series, The Adventures of Darren and Destiny, who also travel around different African diaspora destinations. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a producer. I've written stage productions, and all of this. I guess bottom line is I'm a storyteller, and so now my goal is to be able to bridge the gap between Africa and the African diaspora, telling our stories through our eyes, and bridging the gap and helping us to see how we have more in common than differences. And so it's been a wonderful thing, and I am truly humbled to be on this journey. And right now I'm in Charleston, South Carolina, so that's my birthplace, and I'm learning much of the history that my family neglected to teach me. And it might not have been intentional; it just might have been the fact that they didn't know. But that's the journey I'm on. So glad to be able to talk to everyone today and offer some more insight.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, as we say back home in Ghana, Yamal Kwaba.
And that's why I say Madasi.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. You're learning.
I'm learning.
Yeah, yeah.
I've kind of been adventurous for many years now, and they're kind of used to me doing kind of out of the box things. But when it came to Africa growing up, Africa was always spoken about in a negative context, or in a negative. Anytime you talk about Africa, it would be some sort of, children sick, dying, poverty, Tarzan, jungle, animals. That was the conversation that would come up. So it was never anything. It was always a bucket list kind of item. Hopefully I'll get to set foot on the African continent one day before I leave this earth. So when I started going, and not just, they have a joke. They say he travels to Africa like he's going to Georgia, because I just get on the plane. Like next week, I'll be back in Ghana,
yeah,
and right after that, I'll be in Nigeria. Then I'll be in Sierra Leone, and it's like. But now that I've changed my perspective about how I see the world, that's how I can get on the plane and do it. So as far as family's concerned, now they're more amazed because they see the children's books that came about. They're like, well, he's not a children's book author. How did he turn? And these are like high quality books, so they're looking at that and they're saying, wow, he's really doing something different. And it's become very inspirational, not only for my family and friends, but for a large group of people who follow the journey on the continent, in different parts of the continent, in Congo and South Africa, and there are other people in Australia. So you go into a whole different continent. There are people following in Europe, and of course, Ghana is the spot where everywhere I go, every region I've been in Ghana, someone has spotted me from the YouTube channel, whether I was in Tamale or many times in Accra, multiple times in Cape Coast when I was in Takoradi. Yeah, so
you're getting famous in Ghana now.
It surprised me, but the love and the reception is that's the part I think really touches me, because when I created the Ghana Chronicles, it was just a labor of love to say, listen, what we've been told in America is an incomplete story, and let me celebrate these wonderful people and their hospitality and their kindness, and it's been reciprocated. I mean, that's the bottom line. Where every time I go somewhere, and people can sense when you have a genuine appreciation for them and their culture, and that's what I've expressed towards Ghana and any country I've been in. And so that's the wonderful part. And I think my family and friends, they see that, and what can they say? what can they really say at this point? So, yeah, the first thing I was always told, if I was going to go to Africa, I was going to need a bunch of shots. You're going to need 12 shots to go. So most people don't want one shot. They're already nervous about. So you say 12 shots, and they're listening to someone who's supposed to be an expert, and then they automatically rule it out of their mind. They're like, well, I got to get my mind right if I'm going to take 12 shots to go to Africa. Then you think to yourself, well, what is going on over in Africa? I'm going to need 12 shots for what's happening? And that's the first line of misinformation. So once I understood I did not need 12 shots to go to Africa, and I'm just using Africa monolithically because that's the way that we've been conditioned.
And how many shots did you need?
Just one, the yellow fever. That was it. And that had no problems. Yellow fever vaccine's been around forever. So it's not like something new that just came on the scene. It hasn't been tested. So I felt relatively comfortable, doing that because it's been around for, I think, over 100 years, or 80, 90 years or something like that. Didn't have any complications and was able to go. I mean, you take your malaria pills, and because of the tropical region, but it's not, they weren't mandatory. So those are the only two, and that I needed, that I felt that I needed in order to be safe. They recommend a bunch of other ones, but you got to remember that a lot of these companies are making money off of upselling everything they can upsell. So if you don't know what you don't need, then you'll go in and say, let me just get all these, and some of them expire, meaning they have a short time span where they're actually working in your body. So you just got to kind of look and do your homework on it. When you do your homework on it, you find out it's really not difficult at all. Once you get through the visa process and you get a 5-year visa, I tell people all the time, get a multiple entry visa. Just don't get the 3-month visa. Get the the multiple entry, which some people are getting up to 5 years. Then you can get on the plane and travel back and forth like it's nothing. I mean, you get on the plane, you travel, hey, there it is. And you get your yellow fever one time, that's it. And it's supposed to be a lifelong vaccine. And they said, if indeed there is like a booster needed, it's 10 years from now. So I figure I can do a whole lot of traveling back and forth to the continent within 10 years. I mean, it hasn't been 3 years yet. And I've been back, goodness, at least 9 or 10 times or something like that. So yeah, it's not difficult. The bottom line is not difficult.
Yeah. What's up, guys? Thank you for watching this video and enjoying this content. So part of my mission of helping to plug the African American community into Ghana is to help you understand the culture, the traditions, the sights, the sounds, the ins and outs of Ghana, and the food, most importantly. So please stay tuned and keep watching this video because I've got a really nice surprise at the end of this video for you. I think you're really gonna enjoy it, so that when and if you go to Ghana, you don't stick out like a sore thumb. Jay mentioned that he's an author. Okay, so I'm going to be dropping a link of his YouTube channel and the link for your website, right, is where you can purchase the books. Yeah, so please check it out. A lot of you folks that watch my channel and his channel as well are probably parents. So your Black children need to be educated in Africa and different parts of the world. So definitely check out his content below. Now, so on the other side as well, folks here, Black men and Black women here think that Africans don't want them. Africans might not like them. They're going to be feeling resistance. What has that been like for you? I mean, you've traveled in how many countries now?
There's been 9 countries. I'm getting ready to head to my 10th country. Nigeria will be my 10th country. And I'll tell you a story why I'm going to Nigeria in a little bit. But as far as the reception I've encountered, I think that was the part that I was the most ashamed of. When I say ashamed, meaning that I would listen to these people over here who have never been, who have, and they would say, don't go because those Africans don't like us. So subconsciously, I'm like, well, okay, I got to get all these shots and these people don't like me. Let me go take my money down to Cancun. Again, it keeps happening here in Ghana. Right. And so because of that, what's your name?
Mina.
Mina, and so you're originally from Ghana?
From Ghana, yeah.
Excellent. And what part of Ghana are you from?
From Accra.
So you're from Accra. Mm-hmm. And so just tell the folks a little bit about why they should come to Ghana, because folks are just thinking that, first of all, they think that you all don't like us.
Right.
And all of that. So
which is so funny, and like wrong. So why should people come to Ghana? I mean, I've been trying to convince some of my African American friends to come to Ghana, and like because the year of return and stuff, now people are seeing what we've known has been here. Yeah, there's a lot for people to see. If you are into kind of like the high life, urban, city chic sort of thing, you'll find your place. If you're looking for something more Afrocentric, you also find people who are interested in that.
Right. Or let me take my money down to the DR or wherever, let me take
Italy.
or Italy or France. And where the people really don't like it. But anyway, that's a whole other story. That's a whole other story. I didn't mean to go there like that. But anyway, so when I went and I saw how friendly everybody was. Everywhere I've been, I can't tell you a place that has been more hospitable than the other, because the minute I think to myself, I'll think, in South Africa, they were really hospitable and kind. And then I'll be reminded of what I experienced at Ivory Coast, or I'll be reminded of the reception I receive in Ghana when I'm just in the mall. I'm in Accra Mall minding my business, and people will walk up to me and say, "Oh man, I was just watching you. Oh man, this is great." Or when I'm in Sierra Leone, and the people are saying, "Welcome home, welcome back." When I'm over in Tanzania, some brothers did over in Tanzania is because I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. That's one of the accomplishments that over the past couple of years. And what they did, they were so moved by how I treated them with maximum impact. They created a banner, like a flag, and climbed to the top of Mount Kilimanjaro and took a picture with the maximum impact flag at Uhuru Peak in Tanzania.
That's amazing.
So I'm saying to myself, now, if these people don't like us, then why am I receiving such a warm reaction? Now, to be fair and to offer a bit more broader context to the story, though, where a lot of people are getting this from is not so much when they go to visit the continent. What a lot of people have expressed to me is that they have encountered that in America from certain people who have come from a particular country in Africa, and they have had that experience. And then that's when I have to educate them that there are 54 countries, although they're artificial or colonized, made up countries. I said, but there are 54 different countries. And each country has all of these different ethnic groups. Each country is very different. And so there's a difference oftentimes for people who may come from someplace and may have a perception, because you got to remember, people have been told things about us. So people have been told that Black Americans are lazy, that Black Americans don't like Africans. And so when you have someone, when a colonizer educates you and create a narrative, and they are allowed to put themselves on a pedestal, it can create a friction that we don't even understand what's happening. I said, so now let's look at this a little bit differently. I said, what the colonizer would even do between Ghana and Ivory Coast is the French would tell the French Ivorians, if you will, don't trust the Ghanaians. And vice versa. The British would tell them, don't trust the French. And so they wouldn't want to learn each other's languages, because this is with a wedge that the colonizer used in order to keep them separated. Although they're the same people, many of them come from the Akan. Many of them are Akan, but there's a border there that says it's a border that someone else made up. They said, we're going to impose our French language on you, and you're going to learn French, and you're going to learn English, and that's how we're going to divide you. And so once we start understanding that side of the story, that's why I embrace everyone. And so if I'm in a Portuguese-speaking country, when I went down to Salvador and Brazil, which is like Little West Africa, I'm embracing everybody. And I can't speak a lick of Portuguese. But the tour guide said, Jay, I don't understand how you came into this country. You can't speak the language, but these people embrace you. I said, because they can sense that I'm genuine with my expressions towards them. And the many pictures that I took, even the ladies in Salvador and Brazil, they wear these big dresses, and how they make their living is by charging people to take pictures with them. So I'm ready to go. I want to go take my picture with them, because we can go to Salvador, you have to take a picture with the ladies in the square. So I took the picture with them, and I went to offer them money. They told me, no, we don't want to take your money. They said it in Portuguese, and he translated it. Yeah. And I was like, well, no, I have to give you, but they were not even going to charge me to take a picture with them. It was like they were willing to take a picture with me. So my point is, is that a lot of what we've been told is been by design to make sure we stay separated and we have all of this stuff going on. I'm going because they told me don't go to Africa. And I've missed out on all of these years worth of friendships and experiences. And I've been invited by the Nigerian tourism ministry. So I'll be going to visit Lagos and spend some time there. I'm not naive now. I'm not naive. I understand that Nigeria is a country with over 200 million people, and it's a different kind of makeup. But hey, guess what? You know what? This until I see for myself, then one thing I realize is that the story, but here in America, the story is so incomplete. And it feels like I've been manipulated when I go abroad, meaning not what's happening abroad. It feels like I'm manipulated when I'm here. It's almost like when I leave America, I feel a sense of like freedom in a sense it's like an anxiety that I don't have when I'm in places like Ghana or anywhere, even in South Africa. I didn't feel that same anxiety that I feel in America. In America, I feel like somebody's been toying with my mind. Now, don't get me wrong. I can see some things when I go, to different parts of the continent as well. Yeah. But at least my eyes are tuned to it. I haven't spent my whole life in those particular systems. So when I look back at America and I see, I can hear it coming out of my peers. I can hear it coming out of my family members. I can hear it's almost like American superiority, like we have it so good and all of these other people are just so bad off without us. And then what really hit me hard is the fact that the perceived wealth that we enjoy in America, in the UK, and in Canada comes at the expense of Africa and other places that have the natural resources. So when I really stopped and thought about it, and it comes by way of theft. I mean, I just got to call it how it is. Right. It comes by way of theft or not paying the people what they're worth. And then manipulations. And I think that's the part, like where in America, we have been indoctrinated with nationalism and that whole deal. Now, when I go abroad and I go to different countries, I see how, sadly, in some respects, the colonizer is revered and seen. I'm not bowing to the Queen of England. I don't give a rat's tail about the Queen of England. You understand what I'm saying? Thief. She's a thief. And so the whole institution, but you go to certain places where they colonize and they put their educational systems in place. The Queen is coming. Man, forget the Queen. You got the Queen right here, the Queen Mother right here. You got your own Queen Mother you won't even respect or give or won't put on the same pedestal as the person who's stealing from you. So when you go places, but the same thing happens here, in America. So it's like, y'all don't see these systems that are put in place that are oppressing you, but you love the system, you embrace it. Come on, y'all, so that's what happens to me as a Black man. To kind of bring it all back around, you start reconciling a lot of different things. And when you start reconciling those things, there's a level of freedom that comes with that. There's a level of confidence that comes with that. Nobody can put me back in that box and say, you better think like this, or you better do X, Y, Z. Listen, it is the fact that I went to Africa and saw what I saw in Ghana and in Zanzibar and in Togo and in Benin that even gave me an interest to want to come back to America and start learning about the history that my family, that the schools, that all of these people never even taught me. So it was Africa that was the catalyst that caused me to want to come back and learn. So don't, so that, like right now I'm in Charleston and I was in Savannah yesterday. And I mean, I learned there were so many Adrinkra symbols in Savannah. Adrinkra symbols in Savannah from the Ashanti. But it was, I guess a con would be a part of all of that then. Yeah. I was blown away in the architecture in Savannah. And then you saw Hausa, from the Hausa people in Nigeria, you saw this. I said, well, what is this? In Savannah, Georgia. In Savannah, Georgia. So I didn't even, because I spent so much time around Adrinkra symbols in Ghana, it wasn't foreign to me. It was like, oh, I know what that is. Right. You recognize the link. So there's a level of freedom in that, because you see the power of the people in that particular region of the world and their influence in America, and you really see how they built this country. It's not just something psychological that you're saying, oh, or intellectual, I should say, oh, they built this country. No, you see their mark, you see these symbols all over the place. So now I'm excited about going, like I'm getting ready to go on a tour later today in Charleston. Oh, I was born in Charleston, but never was I taken on a tour to understand Gullah Geechee history. So man, there's so many layers to this thing. I encourage people to educate themselves and really discover, because the history is fascinating. And you take away the interpretations of others, meaning when I say that, obviously you're going to have instructors teaching you, but it also gives you the ability to go see for yourself. And then you can go conduct your own research, and you can ask your own questions, and you can do all of these things that people try to muzzle you with, say, don't ask these questions. I'm like, well, I'm going to go ask the questions. And it will inspire not only other people from the African diaspora or Africa, but it also inspires people from other ethnic groups. You'll have other white folks looking at you like, you know what? I've had plenty of white people come and say, you know, I think I need to go on one of your tours. I think I need to go to Ghana. I think I need to, because what they're teaching me is not right. We realize that we've been all a victim of this education system.
Miseducated.
Too. Yeah, so yeah, man. So that's, for the Black man, that's what it's done for me. That's all. I'm on fire. You got me started. You started about the Queen of England. I'm good.
Yeah. Well, I believe you're doing God's work, man, because you're taking our people home. You already got the beard, so I want to call you Moses, because you're leading you're leading our people back. So yeah. But yeah, tell us about your touring company.
Well, Maximum Impact is designed, and I never even planned this. It was, I went to Ghana, and I was telling the guy that, I said, listen, I said, I'm bringing people back. I said, because we don't know. And what Maximum Impact, our first tour was in November of 2019, and we brought over 30 people back. And so then COVID came, but then since then, we have been able to bring close to 100 people back. Wow. Since during the pandemic. And so in addition to the 30, so now we're able to still continue to, once everything released in 2021, we were able to bring groups back. And so it's important for people to see for themselves. There are people on those groups who've started businesses that we brought back. So they're now working hand in hand with the artisans and now opening their own stores. And so that's a part of bridging the gap. There's some people who've decided to move back to Ghana, and some people are considering Tanzania to relocate. So this is just really the beginning of, there's a popular term in Black American culture, they call it a missions trip. And I tell people, I said, this is my mission, to be able to educate us so we can go back and not try to change anybody's culture. I don't think that's what our purpose is for going there. I believe our purpose is to be able to understand the many cultures that we descend from. And so that's why when I go, I know there's a small part of, and again, knowing that the borders were created by the colonizer. So when I know that, I don't look at like, okay, these Nigerians or these Ghanaians or these Togolese or these Cameroonians, I look and I say, wow, I said, there's a small piece, whichever ethnic group, I said, there's a small piece, so there's a good chance that there's a small piece represented. And so I want to learn. And that's what makes this journey so wonderful. So if anybody's interested, we're at MaximumImpactTravel.com. This is really it's an experience. It's not just a tour. It's well worth it. We represent Black excellence. So that's one thing that we want to make sure that we do, that when you're on these tours, you have that experience where we can show, listen, we can do our business better than what is perceived, everybody perceiving everybody else does it better. It's like, no, we can do it better if we pay attention to details. We know what you like to eat. We know safety is your number one concern. We make sure that you have accommodations that are very familiar to what you're used to in the United States. But at the same time, you still get the indigenous experience. It's just a well-rounded experience. And I enjoy sharing these experiences with anyone who comes.
See, now I understand why when you eat the wache, you feel right at home. I know that's your favorite. See, I've been watching.
Wache. I was talking about wache yesterday, man. I was talking about wache. As a matter of fact, Hoppin' John, that's what they call it here in Charleston. Hoppin' John.
Oh, okay.
If you eat Hoppin' John, you'll say, I'm eating wache. It does not have the shito. Now that's the only thing. So they don't do the spice here. They don't, they have a little Tabasco sauce, they get a little Texas Pete or whatever. They have a little bit of that going on, but I'm telling you, you get that Hoppin' John, or you get that red rice, and you get that jollof, and you will, there is no doubt.
Yeah.
There's no doubt the influence from West Africa all throughout the southeastern part of the United States, even into Louisiana and New Orleans. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
We're unlike in America, where you have a lot of so-called African Americans who want to deny it and who want to say they're everything but from the continent. They do everything. They have movements going and people saying the slave trade didn't happen. And, it's a lot of wild stuff out here, but that's all a trick of the colonizer to keep people confused and to keep people basically in a state of paralysis, because they won't want to move. They'll say, I'm gonna stay stuck right here listening to this person because of something that they don't realize that has been embedded in our culture and into how we think for hundreds of years. And it's those few people who are willing to break out of it and say, well, okay, y'all stay over on that plantation and keep talking that talk, but we're going to come off the plantation. We're going to learn, we're going to travel, we're going to see, we're going to do what we need to do. We're going to bridge the gap, and we're going to inspire others to do it in this generation and in the generations to come.
That's well said. Well, Jay, in the infamous words of a man that I greatly admire, Mr. Les Brown, he says, it's been a plum pleasing pleasure and a privilege to speak to you this morning. So I really, really appreciate your time, brother. I know you're busy, but yeah, you can check out all his contact information is going to be below, his website, his YouTube channel. Please go ahead and check it out and support the brother, and stay with him on his journey, because he's going to teach you a lot about what you need to see and what you need to be educated on Africa and the rest of it. So I want to thank you for your time this morning, Jay. From your man, King Anan, on behalf of Jay Cameron and Maximum Impact, his YouTube channel. It's been a pleasure, and catch you on the next one. So in Ghana, being thankful and grateful is a really important part of our culture. Okay, so if somebody does something for you, if somebody gives you something, you always want to say thank you. Okay, so in the tree language, you say thank you, and most of you know, or some of you know, that thank you is medasi, okay, as you saw in the video earlier. But if you want it to come from your heart, just like saying thank you so much or thanks a lot, you say medasi pi, okay, medasi pi, okay, and you say it just like that, medasi pi, okay, so that means thank you so much or thank you a lot. Pi means a lot, okay. So anytime someone gives you something and you're in Ghana, make sure you say medasi pi, like it's coming from the heart.